Well, it says I'm live, so we'll see here. We got a couple of people watching. Cool. I've got this. Whoops. In the mail today. Gonna be opening that soon. But first, I'm gonna open a beverage. What we got here? We have the Nothing Fancy. It is a cream ale from Nashville, Tennessee. Let's open this up. Pretty light colored. Not bad. All right. I'll probably unbox that here in a little bit, but if you don't know, with this, with the K3 Mark III, they just a couple of weeks ago they released a new firmware, and I didn't do it until just about an hour ago. So we'll see how that goes. I typically don't do firmware until somebody else has been the guinea pig, but I realize I am actually the guinea pig now because this lens hasn't really been out tested with that firmware. Years ago, I had a Nikon, Nikon D5300, and they released a firmware, and everybody was up in arms because they upgraded the firmware, and then it said it was doing all these improvements, but it actually took away the capability to use generic batteries in the camera. So everybody's up in arms about that. Can everybody hear me and everything? Is it okay there? If you could type in the chat there and just let me know, so I'm make sure I'm not my audio is not too low or anything like that. So anyway, I did the upgrade to the firmware, and it's all upgraded now. If you buy that, also your KP, you have to upgrade the firmware as well. So I've got the K1 over there, which I'm not sure if you have to upgrade the firmware, but I hadn't done. I know this is a crop sensor, made for crop sensor cameras, but I might try the differences between the two and see what's going on. But we'll put that lens on here in a second after I unbox it and see how it goes. Let's see what else. So how did I get this so soon? So if you go on B&H, this is not available. No, I'm not special. I ordered my K3 from actually Ricoh online, and they sent me a message. I was like, should I buy this? Should I not? It's expensive. It's $1,400. Well, they sent me an email, and they gave me $200 off if I order it. So I'm thinking if you've ordered it on Ricoh's site, you might have gotten the email. The coupon code on their site is SAVE200. It said it was exclusive for people that bought the camera, but maybe if you register the camera on their site, they might send you the same email, but that code might work. I don't know. SAVE200. And cool thing about Ricoh, at least in Tennessee, they don't charge you sales tax. So, sales tax on $1,200 if you do get that coupon code, it saves you quite a bit of money. So something to think about. Also, you know what? Let's just go ahead and do it. So this is the kind of kit lens I've been using. This is the 20 to 40 limited. I used to have the original 16 to 50 years ago. And when I bought this, I liked it better because it was lighter weight and everything was tack sharp, wide open. And I just like the whole performance of this. If you've watched my channel before, I've talked about this before. So let's go ahead and look at it. I posted this up on Facebook or whatever, that I was going to go live and stuff. So I wish there was some tape on here, because everybody's like, no, you opened it up already. No, I just got this a couple hours ago. So I'm opening it now, and we'll see what we have in the box. It's going to be a Canon kit lens, right? It'd be funny. All right, basic stuff, warranty card. And then when I got this box, it feels, heavy compared to that 20 to 40 limited. You might be saying, oh, the 20-40 limited is a completely different lens. I could see where you would say that, but it still is like a everyday walk around kind of kit, not kit lens, but upgrade kit lens, I guess. So your regular, bag that comes with all of them. See, it's still in the plastic. I did not cheat. Don't eat this. It's got a little weight to it, but it's not. It doesn't feel like super heavy. I know. I think it said it weighed a little bit more than the original. It's got some more elements in here, so it's going to be a little different optically, I guess. There you go. Ooh, look at that. Oh. All right. Let's put it on the camera and see what happens. All right. I thought about not buying this lens since it was $1,400. When they sent me the $200 off coupon, I was like, I'm all in. I'm going to buy this. I was thinking, $1,400, I could buy a couple of other lenses. There you go. It looks kind of big, but let me see here. It feels nice. It gives you the weight of probably a K1 with a like a smaller limited lens, like if I'm guessing. Hold on a second. Yeah, if you had like a small lens like the 43 limited on your K1, it would probably feel about the same weight. So it's not too bad. Extends out a little bit there. You can see that. And let's turn it on. Let's see this. All right. And let's focus on something. That was quick. Did you hear anything? I didn't hear anything. Quick. 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 It's pretty nice looking through the viewfinder. The ring is not stiff, but it has like the right amount of give to it, not too loose, not too stiff. Feels really good in my hands. Liking this. Is the audio sounding okay and everything? We got 12 watchers right now, so just let me know if I need to adjust anything. This is my first time doing a live, so. Yeah, I'm looking forward to shooting with this. Let's see. Let me take a picture. And let me just zoom in. I mean, it's very dark in here. Well, it helps if I have my ISO up. So let's turn this up a little bit. I'm gonna go down f2.8 here. Huh. The colors looked a little off there. No, that one looked fine. Okay, so I'm not gonna be too long on this video, but because I want it, it will be getting dark here in 45 minutes or so. So I want to get out there and take some pictures with this. Look at that. How many of you have bought the K3 Mark III yet? And let me know in the comments if how happy you are with it. Okay. Oh, I'm not seeing any chats. I don't know if there's any going on or not. But do that. All right. Do you have any questions? Leave a question there about it. Let's see what else we should talk about. We should talk about the new lens lineup that they put out the other day. I don't know if you saw it. They put it out about a week ago. It was on Pentax Rumors. They posted it. So if you want to check out there, you could see it. But it had 3 different lenses that are coming out. And we already knew about the 21 Limited, which everybody's waiting on. I know I am. Should be a fantastic lens, but they kind of semi announced it about a year ago, and that's the way that Pentax does. If you've been shooting with them for a while, you know they kind of a little bit slow about releasing things, but when they release them, they're like top notch. So I'm looking forward to that. And they also had 2 other lenses on there. I can't remember what the one after that coming out, but they had something that looked like it was going to be another telephoto lens for the full frame. But I'm wondering, from what it said in the bottom, or what it on the scale, it looked like it was going to be like a 60 to 250, almost like that, like the lens they already have that's a DA, for crop sensors cameras. But be interesting to see. Maybe they'll make that the PLM. And speaking of PLM, this is PLM. Why do they have to do a firmware upgrade? I'm not too sure about that, because you have to have a firmware upgrade for this, for the 55 to 300 PLM. So what is the difference between these two? I'm kind of curious on that. I'm not really sure what is the difference there. Let me know your opinions on that lens lineup. Are you looking for that 21 millimeter? Let's see what else we got. This kind of slightly off topic, but the Petapixel website put out the camera sales for the last year. Excuse me. I don't know if you saw it, but they had the camera sales for all the manufacturers. They only went like the top 5, and of course Pentax wasn't on there. But if you looked at it, it was kind of interesting for the different manufacturers, because Canon still owns the top of all the cameras shipped out. They shipped out 8.9 million cameras last year. Canon 48%, Sony was 22%, and then Nikon was 13%, Fuji 5%, and then Panasonic 4%. That's what they had. So I'm guessing Olympus might be a little bit higher than Pentax, and then it's Pentax. So I don't know, maybe 2-3% on Pentax. But it was interesting because Nikon is their sales were down compared to Canon, and Sony actually sold a little bit more cameras. So it was interesting to see there. But as you know, Pentax really didn't release a camera there. So a lot of sales throughout the year, you have to look at, did they release a camera that year? So I'm curious to see if I could get some information on the this year, this first half of the year, how many units were sold by Canon. I guess I could buy stock in Ricoh, and then all that information will be public, I guess, so I could look through it. That would be interesting just to see. Okay, so this lens right here, like I said, I went back and forth. Should I buy it? And then they gave me the $200 off on the Ricoh site if you're just tuning in. I thought about not buying it when it's $1,400, but then I was $1,400. What other lenses could I buy for $1,400? There's a few lenses that I hadn't tried that I could definitely just buy 2 or 3 lenses for the $1,400. One of those lenses I hadn't tried, and I'm curious if any of you have kind of tested between these two, but the The 1685, I've heard a lot of good things about that. I've not tried that lens. Um, I'm wondering how it compares to the 18 to 135, because at 18 to 135 you could buy that under $200 used. I think that 1685, since it's fairly new, not new, but it was, I think, new. It's like $600 or something. It's pretty pricey. I don't know if it's worth the money there. And then um, other lenses that I hadn't tried is the 21, the 21 limited, but I don't have a reason to try it because I've got this, and this is at 20 millimeters. It's f2.8, and it performs excellent at that. So I'm not sure why I would buy that 21 millimeter limited just to review it and say that I have, I guess. But the other one that rates really high and a lot of people like is the 35 millimeter limited macro. A lot of people love that lens, and I have not tried it, so I was looking forward to trying that. I think it's used around 300, a little bit under 300. So I thought about buying that. And the other lens that I thought might be kind of cool to get would be the other DA Star lens, the 11 to 18 millimeter. But I don't know why. It's really expensive too, well over $1,000, I think. And I've got leave a comment below if you've got this lens and you had this lens and you bought that 11 to 35 or 11 to 18 millimeter DA Star lens. The Sigma 10 to 20, this thing performs really, really well. So, and it could be had around $300. So I don't know if you'd see it. And since I'd like the performance of this already, I can't justify spending, well over $1,000 to get that other lens since I enjoy this. So that's my thoughts on that. If you have any questions or comments, leave something in the chat. I don't know if I'm doing this right. Let me see here. It says top chat. Let me just look here. There. I just saw something. Messing it up. Okay. Like I said, I'm new. This is my first. Thanks everybody. Oh! I see Andrew is in here. Audio's fine. I see that. Thanks for watching, everybody. And Andrew, look, what is this? It's a real beer. It's not it's not the light beer. It's well, it looks light, but it's a cream ale microbrew. Cheers, everybody. All right. Any questions in here? Is the same lens you have? No, it's not. What is this? The Sigma. It's not. I know there's a couple of different versions of this Sigma 10 to 20. This is actually the f4 to f5.6 version. Let's see here. What else? Still having problems with AF continuous auto mode on the K3 Mark III, I'm assuming. I don't use AFC all that often, but when I've used it, it's worked fine for me. I mean, there's so many different options in there as far as adjusting it and such. You might have watched some of Kobe's videos. He kind of digs down a little bit more than I would in the AFC stuff. That would probably be good for you to check out his channel if you haven't. Simon from Canada. Hey, how's it going? Extra SD card. Yeah, Stephen. Hey, how's it going? If I shoot, Stephen asked if I shoot the long telephoto lens on the K3 on a monopod do I turn off SR? You know what? I do not use an monopod with the K3 Mark III. I hadn't really used it with many cameras, you know, and I would dare to say that you don't need it. I mean, my hands are real shaky anyway. But if I'm going, I don't have a lens that goes past 300 millimeters. So if it was like something 400, 500, I would definitely use a monopod. But I'm not really trying to get that shutter speed down low because the ISO performance of the K3 Mark III is so awesome. And plus, you know, it has the shake reduction in it if you're going handheld. So that's what I do. Yeah, I would think that the 16 to 50 and the 55 to 300 would make an excellent travel kit. Let's see the weight on these. I can show them to you together so you could kind of see. This would be your bag right here. 2 lenses. And what we're looking at here, well, if you don't get the discount like I did, $1,400, $2,000. This is adding up, and I think this is $500 now. So, yeah, that's it's almost $4,000 for this kit right here. Yeah, so that's quite expensive, but I would see it. We're going to test this out, and I'm going to put some images on. If you're not on Facebook, I think I linked it below, but there's a K3 Mark III Facebook group that I'm the admin of or whatever. So I'm going to go after this video outside and shoot some quick test shots, just some JPEGs, and I'll upload them to that Facebook group. I think if the link is in there, you could just, you don't have to, it's public, so there's no acceptance or whatever. It's kind of small right now. So yeah, I'm going to do that. So make sure to check those out and see what those look like. And I'm curious, I'm going to do some real tests with the autofocus again. So if you're just tuning in, I'll do a couple more shots real quick. Yeah, that's how far it sticks out. And quite a bit, what is the, I can't remember what the filter thread looks, 72, I think. Might be 77, but I mean, I'm at f2.8 ISO 6400, and I'm pointing it over there, and then up close to my hand. I mean, it's like it's not listed on the side. Let's see the closest focusing distance. So, wow, that is close. I mean, I'm happy to see that. Wow, that's really nice. All right, so let's see what else here. I found a great deal on a 17 to 70 SDM lens. Watch a review on that before I bought it. Love the lens. One of the best on next. Cool. Glad you like it, Simon. Yeah, that's a great lens. Great lens. A lot of people like the 17 to 70. Was it Sigma f2.8? I've heard some good things about it. I don't think I've tried that one, but my throat is great and dry. So, yeah, definitely. I love that lens when I got it. It's a great lens. The 16 to 40, 1645. That's a great lens too, and you could get that lens used for like $100. If you're like beginner and you just have your kit lens, that 16 to 45, and you're on a budget, that is a great lens. I would recommend that. And it's small, it's tiny, it's plastic. But let's see here. Would you really pack as a travel lens? I'd like the 2040, unless the 1640 crazy better in IQ. Well, I'm going to test that out. We're going to see. And I don't know if you saw the beginning of the video, this 20 to 40, the reason I bought it, there's a size difference just to show you. I had this 16 to 50, and I just, the original one, and I decided to try this lens it was expensive at the time. I think when it was released, it was $700, just because. And this is something I've never done, just because there were some crazy nice images, and it was like, I read a couple of reviews and I was like, okay, I'm going to splurge on it. And it doesn't have the constant aperture, but then I bought it and it was like, just wow. Because I typically, when it doesn't have a constant aperture, I'll just like, so this one's f2.8 to f4. I'll just put it in f4 and just rock with that if I want stuff wide open. But I'm not one of those. I've done a couple of videos lately where I've shot stuff just wide open, everything wide open. That's not really what I do. I find a lot of people, when they start photography, that's what they do. They'll, and I did it myself, is just shoot wide open. Everything's wide open. You've got that shallow depth of field. You're like, whoa, this is great, because it doesn't look anything like you've seen with your point and shoot or your cell phone, whatever you're using. It just looks so good. But and then after a while, you're like, wait, I'm shooting everything wide open. Some images, depending what lens you're using, might be a little soft. And then you realize you start to shoot some landscapes or something where you actually need that depth of field. And then you kind of get away from that. I've kind of gotten away from shooting wide open. I'll put these prime lenses on there, and, that's what they're famous for, shooting wide open. And then I'll find myself like stopping down to f5.6. But yeah, I mean, everybody's different. If you like to shoot wide open all the time, no offense, but I'm just trying to expand everything, and a little better. Let's see here. The Sigma, I've heard, is a bit plastic. Yeah. Here's the funny thing, though. I'm going to be doing a video soon where I'm going to kind of talk about plasticky lenses versus, big solid, like one of these old school all metal tank lenses. What is this? What we got here? This is this is actually a Konica mount, but anyway, this is the old school film lenses. I mean, you could knock somebody out with this. They're like so metally. But if you drop this and say something a little bit more plasticky, I think the plastic lens would not. I'm not going to say it's not going to break. Like, oh, here's like this plasticky Canon kit lens. If I drop the two of these, which one you think would break? I think this would break more than this. Well, I mean, obviously this is smaller, but I've got some. Probably this one too. It's got haze, but I've got some broken lenses. I'm going to try this out soon. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to drop broken lenses with fungus and haze in them, compared to some plasticky ones. I'm going to put a UV filter on there, because everybody says it protects your lens, and just see what happens. Does it actually protect your lens? I've heard of people had a UV filter on there and they dropped it, and it actually seized up on the threads, and they couldn't get it off the filter off the lens. So a video I'm going to do soon, and it's going to be a lot of fun shooting it. I might actually spend some extra time on it. If you've watched my videos before, they're just kind of casual, and I just kind of shoot them. But that one might be a lot of fun. Break stuff. All right, let's see what else we got here. Is this an? Oh, okay. Thanks, B. The KP that say it's good or an average camera. Oh, it's definitely above average. The only problem I had with it was the ergonomics of it. So I don't have it anymore. I sold it, but I was skeptical between it and the K70. I did a video on it. You can see it, but between the two, I prefer the K70 myself, just because it has a flippy screen and the ergonomics are a little bit better. The sensors are like super close, but the KP has a lot more in the menu system. So, and I was just going to talk about that. So yeah, the upgrade, I hadn't done an upgrade since I got the K3 Mark III, the firmware upgrade. So the firmware upgrade puts that electronic shutter, which they have on the KP, which is kind of a interesting thing. I did a video on that, but I was thinking about that today since I knew it was going to come on this camera. So after I did the firmware upgrade, so it allows you, it's silent. You can't really tell what's going on, but your shutter can go up instead of 1/8,000th of a second, go to 1/16,000th of a second. I think the KP could go up to 1/24,000th of a second. I don't know what you're going to be shooting with at that speed, but I thought about that because I used to have the K1, and I had the Sigma 35mm f1.4 art lens, and if I took that out shooting in daylight or whatever, and I wanted to do some wide open stuff at f1.4, the shutter speed would want to go past 1/8,000th of a second. So at f1.4 ISO 100. So it's kind of interesting to see that. I actually put a ND filter on there, a lower ND filter on there, just so I could get a couple of shots. So it would be interesting to see what at 1/24,000th of a second what somebody would shoot. And the only thing I can think of is like, not even that high, but hummingbirds, something where it's like, zzz, their wings are going super fast. But yeah, the shutter speed on the KP is like super quick as well. I don't know. I had the KP for a couple of months, and I didn't really have too much trouble with the buffer. I mean, for what I shoot, I mean, if somebody's buying it, especially for sports and action, they might find it. But I mean, the image quality is so good. If you're wanting to shoot something that quick, I would switch over to JPEG, or because the JPEGs coming out of that camera are really, really good as well. So let's see what else I had written down here. So is this a good time for everybody? I know Pentaxians are just, all over the world. So I came up with 6 o'clock because when I looked at the analytics of my videos, most of the people are from the U.S. and I think a 9 to 5. That works out well. And then Canada was kind of in the same time zone, but like the UK, it's like 11 o'clock over there. And I think in Germany, those two are some of the topper viewers. It was 11, 12 o'clock. And then Australia it was in the morning, like 6 or 7. So, but I'm going to keep on doing them at 6, and we'll see how long we do them. I'm probably going to keep them around 30, 45 minutes. This one might probably go 45 minutes, so we got an extra 10 minutes. So if you've got a question about anything, if you've not subscribed to my channel or looked at my channel, go back and look. I've got lots of videos. Man, I never talk this much. I kind of started these because I liked watching Edward Photo Universe, his live. I was on there a little bit. I enjoyed the conversations that were going back and forth, and just the community there. It seemed really good. And Kobe did a few, and those were really great. But nobody's really doing them now. And I've noticed lots of YouTubers, they don't. They'll start a live, and then it just kind of fizzles out. So, hopefully we can keep this going. But I know with Pentax, it's like there's not much news going on from here to there. So, I mean, I could talk about anything. I've been shooting Pentax for a while, and it's all since the DSLR stuff. But if you've watched some of my stuff, I sell tons of lenses on eBay. So I've got knowledge from a lot of not only Pentax, but a lot of the older lenses. So if there's a question you have about any of those, or you want me to go over those in one of the next episodes, I definitely can. I've got a small collection. I've sold a few off just so I can afford this beast. Yeah. So, I was going to say real quick, I did a video about the 31 Limited. Where is it? So I went back and bought a K1, and I was talking earlier that I had the Sigma 35 Art Series f1.4. So this time when I rebought the K1, I said, you know what, I'm going to buy a different lens. This because I was going back and forth between the two. This is the 31 f1.8 Limited. Very nice lens. It's a lot smaller than that Art Series Sigma lens. I did a video on it. It's excellent lens. But I can't remember. Somebody asked me about it because they had seen my other video about the Sigma, and the Sigma is a better lens. So I'm selling this. So $650 if anybody wants to buy it. It's in mint condition. I don't know if I'm going to buy that Sigma Art Series lens. I found myself not using this as much. Back in the day when I first had the K1, that 35 millimeter, that was just like stuck to my camera. So, but I hadn't found myself using this. I mean, 31 is a little bit different than the 35, wider or whatnot. But that was back when my daughter actually let me take pictures of her. So I'd rock the f1.4 and get the blown out backgrounds. And like the, a lot of people say 35 millimeter isn't a portrait type lens, but man, I love just the look of it. You got all this wider space stuff in the background. Everything's like blown out, and shallow depth of field. It just made her expressions like pop. It was. I wish she'd let me take her picture. All right. So yeah, she's 12 now. So no, you can't take no picture. Let's see here. Put an SD card in my K70 yesterday. Did not format it. It worked fine. So then we need to format the cards. I've done that before. I've like taken. I have an Olympus EM10, so I've taken it and just slapped it in my in my Pentax, and it didn't bother. Nothing happened. But best practices are probably to, keep everything formatted and keep it in the same camera. What I do with my SD cards is, so, I've got my Pentax cameras. I rename the card. So when it's in my computer, I could tell what it is. So like this card is the K3 Mark III. And then, I haven't shown this one yet. And then my K1, I renamed the card to K1 so I can know what I'm looking at. And man, I've got so many pictures from 2021. It's ridiculous on all these different cards because I've just been buying a lot of different lenses. I don't know if I did a review on this. The 24 millimeter f2 DA star lens, not DA, but FA star lens. Sorry. And that's what I was saying about this. Wherever it went, that 31 Limited, I found myself using this more. Even though this is an old lens, it is excellent. So if you have a K1, I would definitely recommend buying this lens if you're in the landscape mood or you like that 24 millimeter focal range. This is great lens. Oh, let's see what else here. Agent Beans, what's up? Where did I learn making single pour needles? Actually, I didn't know what they were called, but there was a Oriental restaurant in town where I would always get these noodles, and they called them chow fun. And I'd go to other Oriental restaurants, and it wasn't on the menu. And then I went to one and I was like, I'm looking for chow fun. And they said Singapore noodles. And so I kind of, just did what everybody else does, Google it and look at some YouTube recipes, and just kind of came up with my own variation of it. And I don't know if you tried them, but man, those things are good. All right. Okay. Norway, how's it going? Let's see what else. I had a list so I wouldn't forget to mention anything. Did the camera cells? All right. Thanks, Dodo. I'm trying to think what else. I mean, have any questions about this lens, since that was in the title? Like I said, I'm going to post the link in the description, has the Facebook group, and I'm going to go shoot after this video some JPEG straight out camera, neutral picture style, like most of my videos. I'm just going to walk around the block and shoot a few just so I can upload them real quick so they could be seen in that Facebook group. So you check those out. It doesn't matter if you use a KP or whatever. So make sure to do that. All right. I guess I'm going to leave it at that. We'll get this around 45 minutes. So this is a pretty good beer. Yeah, it is pricey there, David. We'll see. If you weren't in the video earlier, if you have a K3 and you didn't get a coupon code, I got $200 off. Rico actually sent me the coupon code. So the coupon code is SAVE200, and you can use it on their site. So $1,200. I mean, it's still pricey, but you could try that out on their site. If it doesn't work and you have a K3, I would recommend registering it on their site, and maybe they'll send you that coupon code. So just give it a shot if you're really interested in this. But you might want to wait until I give a full review on it. Sitting here in my hands, I like the feel of it. It's nice and beefy here, but not too beefy, and it sticks out that far. The focus is smooth, and just sitting around here shooting it's really good, and the close focusing distance seems really good. All right, everybody, this is my first one. I'll be back next week. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Hopefully this wasn't too crappy. I'm just using my laptop, so if I continue to do these, I'll make it a little bit better. So, all right, David, if you've got the money, buy it. You'll be very happy with the K3 Mark III. So, all right, thanks everybody. Have a good night.